AITA for telling my drywall guy to stop bugging my babysitter? I am not the original poster. Original post by you, Rodriguez in r. Am I the asshole? Reminder: do not comment on linked posts. Trigger warnings. Inappropriate behavior. Reference to sex offenders. Online sexual harassment. Unsolicited nudes. Less than. Mood spoilers. Mild discomfort. Awkward. Resolution. Less than. #A.I.T.A. For telling my drywall guy to stop bugging my babysitter? Tuesday, June 20th, 2020. We are doing some house renovations and so workers are in the house. Today two guys were putting up drywall in the living room while our babysitter is playing with our daughter in the family room while I'm working in my downstairs office. I hear the drywall guy asking personal questions to my babysitter until her answers started getting short and her tone changes. I.e., guy, so where do you live? Her, north of here. Guy, yeah, but where? Her, it's kind of a weird spot. That's when I finally walked upstairs and told him. What is this? The census? She's watching my kid. Let her be. I thought I did it in a joking manner, but I guess it came off harsher than I intended. My wife promptly informed me I was an asshole to the guy and the babysitter had it under control. I get that white knighting is a thing and that I may be out of touch with where I should be putting my foot down, so I leave the verdict all of you. Am I the a-hole? Comments. Delirium's babble fish make it clear to these drywall workers that you are the homeowner, and if they need to speak with anyone while they're working, they can speak with you. There was no reason anyone needed to be interacting with your babysitter unless they were in the way or needed to move to a different space. In this case, I don't think you were white knighting. You could tell from the way she was being vague in her answers that this was a conversation she didn't want to have. White knighting also typically comes with some sort of repayment expectation. You weren't asking your babysitter to take a pay cut or babysit a night for free or anything. Because you intervened, you made it clear that you could hear what was being said and thought she was getting uncomfortable. If you're still worried, let the babysitter know that you were pretty sure she had it under control. But you can also use the whole dad instincts excuse too. That you felt that checking in might have helped the situation. Oop, thank you for clarifying the white knight concept. I thought it was when you step in for someone and it belittles them because it assumes they were incapable. I try to keep up with these things, but I feel like I still screw it up too often. I'm offering to move the TV upstairs into the nursery so she doesn't have to deal with people coming in and out. That way we work around the awkwardness of it all. I feel like an idiot for not doing it to begin with. Thank you for your input. Judgment. Not the a-hole. An NBSP. #UPDATE. Added to original post. We spoke about the situation at just before she left. I apologized to her for the weirdo and let her know he won't be back. To quote her, "The thirsty ones never get the hint." The most eye-opening takeaway from this was when she told my wife and I, "If you think that was bad, you should check out my DMs." Her Instagram messages are from people who should be put on the sex offender registry. Guys offering her $700 a week to hold them. Guys she has never met offering to buy her plane tickets. And straight-up dick pics. How are dick pic people not out on the sex offender registry? It's just street flashing with less effort. It's insane, and it's apparently just a norm with the way she brushed it off. My wife is deflecting from whether I'm still the a-hole, but I'll take what I can get. In her defense, even the babysitter noted that while my comment was funny, my tone was actually straight up yelling at the guy. It's a give and take like anything in this world. Anyway, thank you all for your input, and here is to hoping that thirsty ones get a job which has them work from home and off social media. An NBSP. Reminder, I am not the original poster. Thankfully this guy's creep instincts are so high. He's going to need those powers as his daughter gets older. I think the babysitter has decided this guy is part of the right team. No way she would have shared her experiences on Instagram if she believed he might use it as inspiration with someone else. And I'm also guessing that his wife probably never worked in the food service industry or retail. WTF with the wife saying he was an AH. Whether they can deal with it or not, I don't think anyone would be mad with a little help when being harassed. Real weird for the wife to brush off the harassment. I guess it's because she's just so numb to men acting gross. Better be a white knight for nothing than doing nothing. Better safe than sorry. If wife still thinks OOP is an AH, she needs to reevaluate her opinion on this. It's easier to replace a guy doing drywall than find someone you trust with your child. Also, I would rather be harsh to prevent a grown man making a girl feel uncomfortable in my home than let it continue to and possibly get worse. NTA. Honestly, I would have done the same thing. Not only was the drywaller creepy AF for approaching the babysitter, it was also hella weird. BCOP has a young child, and who knows what that jackwagon would have been comfortable doing if he was not called out for it. This specific situation is not a question if his employee could handle herself. But what should she have to? There is no reason she should feel uncomfortable in her place of unemployment, and her employer is responsible to ensure it. That's what he did. End of story. I was a restaurant manager for years and used to protect my employees all the time. These people are on the job and the creeps kind of have them on lockdown. I simply didn't put up with it. I'm a woman, by the way. This babysitter is getting requests to hold some dude for $700 a week? Someone she knows, or a literal rondo? That's wild. When men call out other men's being creepy, that's being a true ally to women. Sometimes other men's objections are the only ones those creeps respond to. Just like the drywaller, who ignored the obvious disinterest of the woman, then responded to a man's intervention. As her employer, it is your job to provide a safe and comfortable workspace. Making some creep leave her alone is part of that. I'm sure she could handle is fine, but she shouldn't have to while at work. I was a nanny and would let the pest control guy in for treatments, and he would be so chatty about personal information it made me uncomfortable. My boss happily rescheduled monthly visits when I wasn't there. As an employer, you are responsible for the people whom you employ. Both folks were under your employment at the time and you handled it perfectly. I have never seen an accusation of white knighting where I wasn't super happy to have the accused on my side. His response was also genuinely funny. The funny thing is, this didn't even need to be an argument about whether she needed protection. The OOP had the right to ask them to stop talking simply on the basis that he was paying them both to be there to do their jobs and not to have a conversation. If the babysitter was a physically fit construction worker type, they shouldn't ask that person for help installing the drywall either. For the record, 99% of the use of white knighting on the internet is by reactionaries who assume that any man supporting or defending any woman is only doing so in the pursuit of sexual favors. Since reactionaries are incapable of empathy, sex is the only reason they'd ever defend a woman, so they just assume everyone else is like them. IDK, you can yell at inappropriate people in your own home. Wonder what's up with the wife. As a woman, I'd probably be thankful if I was in the babysitter's position. I mean, I'd probably also be terrified of Oop after if he yelled at the guy because of daddy issues. But I think I would primarily be thankful, and I certainly wouldn't tell him he was an asshole to the dude. I wonder if someone stood up for her or someone she knew in a similar way once and it ended badly. I think his intervention saved the babysitter from any potential consequences from eventually having to tell the guy no. This way Oop is the bad guy who wouldn't let them flirt, and she can just go about her day and not have to waste energy being delicate with a strange, pushy man. I wonder if wife was embarrassed she hadn't intervened, or if she thought babysitter needed to fend off this guy. Not okay to tolerate your employee being made uncomfortable, so he's NTA and she needs to rethink this, since not all young women are able to deal with creeps, particularly when working.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.